D2 Word Life here with Michael Cole's biggest lover, Riptidz.
No, that is you. You like to suck the Michael Cole copium.
Oh, bullshit. Look what you're going to be making me review here in a couple of days for the next freaking podcast, ass.
Yeah, it's going to be your favorite.
It wasn't my idea.
I already know this.
That one wasn't my idea at all, period. That was you.
Nope, it was your idea.
No, it wasn't, but anyway. But that's a review here for in a couple of days from now. What we're actually reviewing today is WWE's pay-per-view or premium live event Bash at Berlin, which took place on August 19th, August 31st. God!
August 19th? Bullshit!
God, I'm getting my fucking dates wrong. Why did I even agree to do this shit to begin with? I can't even talk. It took place on August 31st, 2024, in Berlin, Germany, at the Uber Arena with an attendance of 13,149. Yeah, okay, I got that one done now.
That's it.
Yep, and it's like so the opening package was okay-ish. They showed the superstars come in, and they showed the hype for the matches going in. Which brings us to our opening. Oh yeah, and the commentators for this show was was your boy Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett are here, right?
No, that's your boy Michael Cole. And your boy Wade Barrett.
No. It was more like your boy Michael Cole. You were excited. You're happy watching these freaking current shows. Michael Cole is the freaking lead announcer.
Nope.
But anyway, the opening contest here at Bash at Berlin was for the undisputed WWE Championship, which I just call it the WWE Championship. It can't be undisputed when we have another world title. So it was just for the WWE Championship. It was Cody Rhodes, the champion, defending against Kevin Owens. In a battle of the friends, we should say, since those two have been allies for the past several months.
Yep.
Dating all the way back to before WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
So yeah, Kevin Owens made his entrance first, it's like he got cheered. Cody Rhodes came out and saying he was cheered was a understatement because the fans were chanting Cody Rhodes to start off the event after his entrance. As we know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, according to story, Cody Rhodes did go into this match with his knee not 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the match started off with freaking Cody and Owens locking up, with Owens pushing Rhodes to the rope, and the fans were cheering for both guys, obviously. There was no heel in this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and then freaking Owens was then sent to the ropes with a shoulder tackle, and then he hit shoulder tackle to Cody and Rhodes to knock him down. And of course, at the same time, Rhodes did a leapfrog to avoid Kevin Owens, and then Cody jumped off the ropes to hit one of his moves, but Owens got him and reversed it to start off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was the way they went. And then a little bit later, Cody went off the ropes to do a disaster kick, but Owens moved out of the way and hit a senton splash right onto Rhodes to start off into the matchup. And then at this point, it's like, okay, they're telling the story back and forth of who has the advantage, who doesn't.
Yeah.
And at one point, Cody did try to flip from behind, but freaking, and Cody was teasing the crossroads, but Owens avoided that. Then Owens tried to do a stunner, and Cody reversed that. at the very start of the match. Into the match, right?
Yeah.
But after a little bit of back and forth, very much cat and mouse play, no one really had the advantage here. Cody Rhodes did try to do a move off the top rope, but his knee got tweaked. And then he went to the outside of the ring, and then Owens was hesitant to go out. The story is, Owens was hesitant to go after the knee. Right?
Well, he was hesitant to do the whole thing in the beginning because he didn't want to be handpicked like that.
Yep. Yeah, and of course they told this story after Owens freaking did his whole, after Cody Rhodes even did a freaking figure 4 leg lock on Owens reverses, and that's when the whole shit happened. With the knee, and then right afterwards, I'm not going to go through this whole match spot for spot. Afterwards, freaking Cody Rhodes with his knee issue. Kevin Owens was hesitant to work on and those two were on the outside. And even Cody Rhodes yelled out, "My knee is fine." That's when freaking Owens went for the knee. But then he seemed so conflicted that he also tried to go for a powerbomb onto the apron spot. Owens did to Rhodes, but didn't pull the trigger.
Well, the thing is, when they were fighting outside the ring, Kevin Owens was kind of concerned, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." Then he kicked him in the knee. He went down, and he refused to do the freaking apron power bomb that he normally does.
Yeah. Of course, those two got back in the ring. Those two did go back in the ring. Freaking Owens did hit a stunner on Rhodes. Rhodes kicked out. Then Rhodes at one point tried to do the 3 crossroads, which Owens got out of.
Yep.
Of course, at this point, the chants were fanning, "This is awesome." Then Owens hit another stunner, I believe. Rhodes kicked out of that. And then in the end, freaking Rhodes hit one more crossroads to get the 3 count.
Yep.
And this was after Owens went for the Swanton bomb, but Rhodes got his knees up to reverse it at the very end.
Yep.
Then Cody obviously went for the 3rd crossroads and actually won to retain the championship. Now, I know I didn't go through this match spot for spot, but what's your thoughts on this opener between the two?
It was good.
To be honest here, I seriously thought that Owens was just going to attack Rhodes after the match, thus turning heel in the process.
I thought Owens would, because he's like, "Oh, you asked for this." And I thought he was going to freaking fight him like he would normally do.
It's like, yeah. So honestly, I think it was a decent opener. No swerve at the end like I thought, but then they kept saying how Solo Sikoa is the next one in line for a championship match, and I'm just like, didn't we just see him get his ass kicked at the last SummerSlam pay-per-view show?
Yep.
Why egg this on? It's just going to be another fucking Roman Reigns interference causing Solo to lose. In my opinion. So yeah, it's like, this match to me is like, eh. It was a great Cody Rhodes title defense and everything else. Good way to open up this show.
Yeah.
And even though I would think that a Kevin Owens championship reign in the future would be interesting to see, I think the right call was made with Rhodes winning here to retain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Owens raised Cody Rhodes' hand, and then we transitioned to the next thing they were talking about, which was a commercial advertising SmackDown going to the USA Network on September 13th. Woohoo! I don't watch SmackDown anymore. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then the next match was the women's tag team title match, when it was women's tag team champions, the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, defending against the former champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
And what was their idea of wearing green? Everything was green.
It's like, yeah. It's like, well, Belair and Jade Cargill were wearing green attire for this, while friggin' Dawn and Fire were wearing black and white for this match.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't. It's like I didn't really pay too much attention to the color of the ring attire. I was just analyzing the match, and see if there was any big spots that stood out.
Everything was green. Their makeup was green. Their hair was green. Their outfits green.
Reminded you of St. Patrick's Day, didn't it?
Yes. It looked like St. Patrick threw up all over them.
But the interesting thing about their entrances was Belair and Jade Cargill came out separately while the tag champions came out together. So I'm like, okay, they didn't make a theme for both of those two women for Belair and Cargill yet.
Well, they've always come out separately. They haven't done an entrance for them just yet.
Yeah, but then who knows? They could just be doing that on purpose because this could blow out into a big match between the two at some point.
Most likely.
Maybe that's why they haven't made a theme song for both of them yet.
Probably.
Which I would be all for, as long as both of them are in the women's world title picture afterwards again. Specifically Belair again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some spots that stood out to me. I'm not going to go spot for spot. I'm trying to get through this relatively quickly here, so just bear with me. Pretty much treating it like every podcast we do. So start things off, Jade hit a neck breaker on Dawn, and then Belair then hit a stomach back breaker on Fire as a...
No, that started off was Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were trying to do 2-on-1 versus Bianca, and then Jade came in and it was 2-on-2.
And then that's when they did the whole spots I just spoke about.
Yep.
Sorry if I ain't remembering the spots in order that way, but I just got done watching this friggin' event. You've seen it as of last night when it was live at time of recording.
Yep.
Belair did connect with a vertical suplex, showing off her friggin' muscular power, though, at one point at the start of the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, there was brawling on the outside as Dawn did toss Belair into the barricade.
Yeah.
At one point, thinking, okay, now we're back to a 2-on-1 situation. And yes, Dawn and Fire did make quick tags to work over Belair in their corner after that.
Yep.
To wear Belair down so she couldn't make the tag to the strong freaking Cargill here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at one time Dawn hit a double knees on Belair and then Fire got tagged in and then went for the pin for a 2 count. Alright, it's like I really can't do any of these matches justice. I'm just pointing out the high spots here. And then at one point, I'm just going to say I really wasn't into this matchup. At one point, there was some double team action going on. I believe it was Isla Dawn was trying to prevent her partner, Fire from a beatdown, only to go in there and accidentally hit her partner herself near the end.
Yeah.
Which led to freaking Isla Dawn getting double teamed and pretty much going down after freaking Jade and Bianca Belair hit their double team finisher for the 3 count. Thus, we have new women's tag team champions once again with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Yep.
Now, besides the spots I mentioned, what are some spots that stood out to you that you remember from this tag match when you've seen it?
Let's see, they were trying to do their unholy union finisher.
Which that didn't work.
That failed.
Yeah, and
Jay Cargill distracted Alba Fire, which gave her enough time to grab Bianca's hair and pull and freaking yank her away from Isla Dawn, which Isla Dawn freaking put her knees up and hit her own partner.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that spot too. I didn't really think anything of it, only for the reason why would anyone try to pull freaking Belair's hair? That's not really a weakness. She uses it as a goddamn weapon, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Which we've seen before. Imagine getting whipped by someone's freaking long hair like that and it leaves freaking bruise marks all over you. Yeah, that's a weapon.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Jade and Belair are the new women's tag champions once again. I'm just hoping at some point we get that Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair feud at some point. When they do dissolve as a tag team. Which I could totally see Jade Cargill being the one to turn heel, if I'm being truly honest here.
Yeah.
But, I guess we'll see what happens as the months move forward here. Well, it was a great match. Didn't really outstay its welcome, but it's like... It's not a match that I would go back and watch again personally, but, I'm not discrediting all 4 women involved in this one. You know what I'm saying? They did their job, and it was a great tag match. It's a good tag match.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good tag match.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the green team won the belts.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that brings us to the next match of the evening, which was the strap match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Your favorite, the strap-on match.
I wasn't even going to say that, but okay.
Well, you already knew I was going to say it for you.
But anyway, this rivalry is personal. It started all the way back in January, and then when Punk got injured, missing WrestleMania entirely, and then it went to CM Punk costing Drew McIntyre the World Championship not once but twice, and then obviously their epic match against each other at SummerSlam, which McIntyre won.
Yep.
So now these two were fighting each other in a strap match. So, and pretty much Drew McIntyre still had possession of CM Punk's bracelet. And now the only way, they made it clear, the only way to win is to freaking touch all 4 turnbuckles in succession without interruption.
Yep.
And CM Punk was in 2 strap matches in WWE previous to this one.
Yeah.
So Drew McIntyre made his entrance, and then Punk came out looking all serious, trying to keep his eye on McIntyre, but he made one mistake. He turned his back on McIntyre to pose to the fans on the apron, and then McIntyre attacked him from behind. And then McIntyre did put a beat down on Punk on the outside of the ring. And then once back into the ring, the match, after a little bit more beatdown, the match officially did get started when McIntyre put the strap on Punk's wrist. After McIntyre already had the strap on his wrist already.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cannot say put strap on a wrist without freaking goddamn saying you know what that people can mistake.
So they strapped on the strap.
Yes.
Did you enjoy their strap-on strap?
God damn it. Of course, this one was a brawl. lot of whipping involved with this one too, with the strap being used as a weapon. Started with McIntyre whipping the hell out of CM Punk. Yeah, then at one point, freaking McIntyre did go for the turnbuckle, which the turnbuckle light that was red turned on, and symbolizing McIntyre since he was the heel here. The green one was for Punk in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point, Punk went on offense, obviously. So obviously, Drew McIntyre was reset. And at one point, when Drew McIntyre was down, CM Punk actually teased touching the turnbuckle, but decided, nah, I'm just gonna freaking punish McIntyre some more.
Yeah.
By whipping him with a goddamn strap once again. A few times, followed by a neck breaker putting him down. If I remember correctly. And those two went to fight on the outside of the ring. Yeah, and those two went on the outside of the ring to fight. Drew tried. Yeah, and then freaking Drew McIntyre got the upper hand, cleared the announce table, tried to do a move to Punk on the announce table, only for Punk to reverse it with a back body drop, and the table didn't break. If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, and then freaking Punk ended up freaking taking a table out, only for McIntyre to reverse Punk's momentum, put a table back under the ring. But later on in the match, the table came into play anyway when Punk freaking took the table out. only for later on in the match, freaking Punk was put through the table on the outside of the ring that was set up there. That was a nasty spot.
Yeah.
And of course, after what? And of course, at one point, freaking McIntyre was out there beating the heck out of Punk, hitting with a steel chair and strap and everything else. But during that scuffle, Punk did get busted open, I think inadvertently, if you noticed.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think a piece of that freaking strap or whatever hit him, freaking, because I noticed there was just two small holes in CM Punk's forehead that was bleeding. That could be caused by, like, belt or something, the two pieces that hold the belt together.
Yeah.
That could have dug into his forehead by accident, right? But either way, CM Punk was bleeding a little bit during this match.
No, it wasn't an accident. McIntyre literally was beating the shit out and wanted him to bleed.
Well, there's such thing as wrestlers getting busted up in hardware inadvertent.
Yeah.
So the way I saw it, it could have been an accident, could have been intentional, who knows? That's up to you to decide.
Yeah.
And then freaking Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore kick on the Punk. Drew touched 3 of his turnbuckles in a row, but Punk managed to leave the ring and pull McIntyre into the turnbuckle, and that had the chair against it. Right, so McIntyre went to the chair that was propped into the corner, thus resetting McIntyre. Yeah, and then at one point, freaking Punk had the momentum again, but then McIntyre came back, hit another Claymore to Punk. Those two were down. Yeah, and then Punk then shortly afterwards got the upper momentum, but I just like how this sequence worked out with Punk on McIntyre's shoulders, all unconscious while McIntyre was trying to hit all the turnbuckles, with Punk sneakily freaking touching each one behind his back. We've seen that spot many times in these matches.
Yep.
But right when they got the last one, that's when Punk decided to fight back, take the upper hand, but both men ended up down, doing a double down, which means it was reset again. Right?
Yeah, because it stopped their momentum.
And at this point, Punk did see the bracelet on McIntyre's wrist, which McIntyre brought out earlier from his trunks. The bracelet had been in a dark place. Yeah, so Punk freaking put the bracelet on, hit a GTS on Drew McIntyre. Then Punk touched 2 turnbuckles, looked down at McIntyre, who was starting to stir, picked McIntyre up again, hit him with another GTS, hit the 3rd turnbuckle. And just to add insult to injury, Punk did freaking goddamn lift Drew McIntyre up again and hit a 4th GTS. And then hit the last turnbuckle to win the match. After a grueling contest.
Yeah, but it was funny as hell that every time he hit the freaking turnbuckle, 1 GTS, 2 GTS, 3 GTS. And right before he hits the 4th turnbuckle, 4 GTS.
Just to make sure he was down for the count. Just make sure McIntyre was down for the count, yeah.
McIntyre was down. He just did it just to fucking do it.
Yes. Now, what are your thoughts on the strap match between Punk and McIntyre here?
They hit each other with everything except strap-ons.
Yeah. Usually the saying is they hit each other with everything but the kitchen sink. What the hell? We all know that was your favorite match, okay? We get it. But it was a good match. I think the right person won, but you know what that means, right? The feud must continue, I believe.
Yep.
Since both men against each other are now 1-for-1, and you know how WWE likes to book friggin' tiebreakers.
Yep.
If you ask me, I think their feud should continue with that knowledge. And by Bad Blood in October, they should freaking fight each other in Hell in a Cell.
Most likely they will.
I mean, that's just my opinion, but I guess we'll see where they go with it, or it could be conclusive done, which you guys will just have to find out in the coming weeks. But I think a Hell in a Cell match would be a great, blow-off to this feud. In my opinion.
They'll probably be doing where they're going to do the end of the feud or something in a Hell in a Cell or something like that.
Just so there's a definitive winner in the feud with 2-1 overall. That's what I think should happen.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought it was a great brawl. I mean, I can't do all the spots justice. You're just going to have to go back and watch it again. But you know, I thought the match was pretty good. And it was the most brutal match of the night. So there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forget. This was CM Punk's first WWE pay-per-view win since December 2013's TLC pay-per-view.
Since he came back.
Yes. So yeah, this was his first WWE pay-per-view win in about 10.5 years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, his last pay-per-view win was literally TLC in 2013. So yeah, first time for everything. First time in over a decade between pay-per-view wins. Now that's impressive. Not because he kept losing for 10.5 years, because he wasn't there for the majority of those 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, and then afterwards, after the match, CM Punk celebrated with the fans. The fans were going crazy, chanting CM Punk. And even UFC fighter Owen Elliott was at ringside, also celebrating with Punk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards then after the match, they did show an advertisement for October's 5th Bad Blood Premium Live Event or pay-per-view that we are also going to review.
Yep.
And apparently Bad Blood is going to be taking place in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
And I don't care if you call it premium live event or pay-per-view. I still call it pay-per-view because despite it being on Peacock, you still got to pay for Peacock to watch these shows.
Yep.
So that's why I still call these pay-per-views. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and apparently they had a German announcer. I'm not even going to pronounce his name. Speaking in German to the fans. And there was a guy that said that friggin' this show was the highest grossing arena show in WWE history over in there in Berlin.
139 or 13,000 and something freaking people were there.
Yep. Yeah, and then obviously the next match, which was the semi-main, by the way, was the mixed tag match pitting former Judgment Day members Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley against current Judgment Day members Dominic Mysterio and Women's World Champion Liv Morgan.
The Terror Twins.
Yeah, the Terror Twins, Priest and Ripley, what they call themselves now. And of course, we all know what happened prior to this with Dominic turning on friggin' Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, and then Finn Balor turning his back on Damian Priest, making those two exiled from the group.
Yep, he wanted Liv Morgan's fist strap on up his butt.
I mean, let's face it. We all knew Dominic's heel turn earlier this month at SummerSlam was actually going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he turned heel when he was already a heel. He did a double heel turn. While Rhea Ripley's now a face along with Damian Priest here.
Yeah.
Now, the match started off with Priest and Dominic being the legal participants, and in this match, mixed tag match rules, it was men versus men, women versus women. Obviously.
Yep.
But at some points in the match, they threw that ruling out the window, and I'll explain that a little later. But it started off with Damian Priest and your boy Dominic being the legal men, which Priest nailed Dominic in the boot with a boot to the face, followed by a jumping back elbow, which I'm pretty sure made you happy. Sorry, but
I didn't like Dominic anyways.
Sorry, but Dominic Mysterio ain't no Eddie Guerrero, and if he is, he's Eddie Guerrero from Wish.
You wish he was your Eddie Guerrero, don't you?
Hell no, you're jealous of his mullet. You're jealous of Dominic's mullet haircut. No, you can't grow hair like that.
Oh, I could. It just helps.
Yeah, and at one point after Drew... Yeah, and then... Yeah, and then freaking goddamn Damian nailed freaking Priest or Dominic with another big boot to the face, knocking him down into his corner only for Liv Morgan to tag herself in. That won't.
Yep.
And then the two women went at it, and there's history between these two.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Rhea was legal. After Rhea got in the ring, she freaking hit a drop kick to knock Liv Morgan down, followed by a fall-away slam and toss Liv across that ring like yesterday's garbage. Pretty much yeeted her out of the ring. Right?
It was more like trash that she put in that day.
Yes. Yes, we have. Freaking Rhea Ripley yeeted her just like I yeeted you into those spikes on that Fortnite death run that one time.
No, it's more like how I eat you with the impulse grenades every time.
Ass. But anyway, back in the ring, Rhea did connect with a vertical suplex on Liv, who then left, went back on the outside. Well, Dominic checked on her, but Priest got tagged in. All right.
Yeah.
And here's where it was funny, because at the time, it was like Dominic wasn't even paying attention. He was staying on the apron, not even paying attention to the fact that he was a legal man again. concerned over Liv Morgan's well-being, only for Damian Priest to just lift him up and just freaking attack him from there. And I'm like, that's freaking funny, kind of reminiscence of what happened a couple of weeks ago in that crowd, right, on Raw. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Priest then nailed Dominic with an elbow. Followed with Priest also sitting Dom into the apron. It's like, by this point, Liv grabbed Priest's foot, preventing Priest from doing any more damage. Then Dominic knocked Priest off the apron into the commentary table. That's sending him out of the ring, but let's talk about this for a second. I mean, there's a bunch of other spots here we can talk about, but the main one I want to fucking... But the next one, when Priest was on the outside of the ring, and I think Liv and Rhea Ripley were the legal participants in, Dominic was in there being all cocky, whatever, then freaking Rhea Ripley came in, just looked at Dominic in the face. And everyone was happy about this one. They were like, oh shit, here it comes, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Dominic being a little bitch, he was like trying to do a fake apology. I'm sorry, you know, because he knew he was about to get his ass kicked, right?
Yep.
Oh, and like the dumb person she is, Rhea actually accepted. No, I'm just kidding. Rhea actually went to Dominic and beat his ass.
Yep.
It's like, Dominic got his ass beaten by Rhea Ripley and including freaking Rhea going back to choking Dominic in the ropes again. That spot looked familiar. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rhea Ripley did try to do the U on freaking goddamn Dominic, if you know what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
That's always going to be a joke on you, so just get used to it. But freaking Liv Morgan broke that one up and was back in control, but they weren't in control for long. And at one point, Damian Priest did get back in the ring. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were in control, and they hit and then at one point they hit a doubles razor's edge onto Morgan and Dominic.
At the end.
At the end, after all the chaos broke out and everything else, but JD McDumbass and Carlito came out to ringside.
All of them came out.
Along with Finn Balor. Of course, JD McDumbass got taken care of. And Carlito and JD McDumbass both got taken down off the ring apron.
Yeah.
JD tried to distract the referee, and Balor hit a sling blade on Priest, which prompted freaking Dominic to hit a 619 on the Priest as well, followed by the frog splash with Priest kicked out.
Yep.
Priest got his shoulder up for a near fall. And then Liv Morgan tagged back in, which made Rhea Ripley the legal woman. And Liv Morgan did attack freaking Ripley with a suicide dive onto the floor, which I thought was a great spot, right?
Yeah.
All things considered, despite, the heel alignment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then back in the ring, it's like, but then freaking Liv went for the Oblivion, but freaking Rhea Ripley blocked it with a neck breaker, as we were talking about. Then of course JD McDumbass was on the apron again, and then JD went after JD McDumbass, who jumped to the floor and then to avoid it. I think Liv Morgan then hit a running knee smash on Ripley herself, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Priest knocked out both, but Priest freaking knocked down both JD and Carlito on the floor. And of course, freaking Priest then at that point looked at the commentary table, cleared that off again, and went to go slam freaking Balor through it as revenge, right?
Yeah.
only for Dominic to save it. But yeah, Dominic saved it after hitting a suicide dive on the Priest, but Dominic then ran to Priest at the table, but Priest reversed into a clothesline. And Priest did a flip bump onto the table, as we know, taking him out of the match, right?
Yep.
It's pretty much at this point, all members of the Judgment Day were down, and Liv Morgan had the freaking look on her face like this is when she knew she fucked up. Right?
At this moment, she knew she done fucked up.
Shortly after that, freaking Rhea Ripley got the advantage over Liv Morgan and hit the Riptide on Liv for the 3 count.
Yep.
Thus making Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley the winners of this mixed tag. And we all know you want Rhea Ripley to pin you like she pinned Liv Morgan, don't you?
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah, but it's like, so what do you think of this mixed tag match? Because to me, even though we don't go spot for spot, this is another one I would recommend people going back to see, because this mixed tag match was better than it had any right to be, in my opinion.
It was good.
Probably one of the best mixed tag matches I've seen in a while.
Rhea got vengeance.
No, the only thing that should happen here is that if they want a women's Hell in a Cell match, have it be Rhea Ripley taking on Liv Morgan inside the Hell in a Cell structure at Bad Blood if they want to do 2 cell matches that night.
Yeah.
And then you can have freaking Damian Priest take on Finn Balor in some sort of no disqualification street fight stipulation with Judgment Day banned from ringside. That's what
most likely.
That's what I think should. That's what I think should happen. But I'm not the booger of this stuff. That's just pure speculation. But that's what I would do if I was. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, your thoughts on this tag match? I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. One of the best tag matches I've seen in a long ass time.
Yeah, it was a good tag team match.
And yes, my favorite part of this mixed tag match was seeing Rhea Ripley beat the hell out of Dominic Mysterio for a little bit, getting revenge for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this match was pretty good. I think the right team won. Now it's just a matter of where do they go from here, moving forward with this feud.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling this ain't the feud ender. This is just the beginning, part of the beginning. I think the feud ender would be when Rhea Ripley gets that Women's World Championship back. That's just my opinion.
We'll have to wait to see.
Yeah, and then they advertised... Yeah, and then afterwards they did advertise more merchandise you can buy on WWE Shop along with NXT No Mercy's show, but it's like I ain't the biggest fan of NXT. I mean, we'll probably review NXT shows for classic reviews at some point, since I don't even keep up with current NXT brand. Do you?
Sometimes.
Yeah, and then they advertised Intercontinental Championship tournament matches to be on Raw at time of recording. And that was about it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed the video, and then afterwards they showed a video package with promoting Randy Orton's feud with world champion Gunther, which Gunther's about a month into his title reign at this point that he won at SummerSlam. So because of that, I knew going in that Gunther wasn't going to drop the title to Orton. And at this point in his career, Orton doesn't really need another world championship reign. He's already got his Hall of Fame status already done. Guaranteed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he still wants to try to beat the record.
I mean, at this point, Randy Orton's a 14-time world champion. So even if Orton doesn't win 2 more world titles or 3 more to break Ric Flair's record, he still has 14 title reigns. That world championship reigns, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty impressive.
Well, he's tied with Triple H for 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Because they both have 14 title reigns apiece.
It's like, yeah, but like I said, 14 world title reigns, that's pretty impressive. Some people are lucky to even get 1 title reign, let alone one. Some people are lucky to get 1 world title reign, let alone 14.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, your name is John Cena. I think Cena has, 17 championships to his world titles to his name? At this point, I'm not really sure.
He still has 16, but it's more like 17.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to do some research on that one myself at some point. Right? But anyway, Randy Orton made his freaking entrance. And of course, the fans that were singing his theme song. So yeah, we had over how many people were in attendance?
13,000 and something.
So yeah, they were all singing Randy Orton's theme song. So pretty much 13,000 people admitted they have schizophrenia.
Yep.
By the way, that is just a joke. I know that's a real thing. I only said it because Randy Orton's theme song has voices. As we all know, right?
Yeah.
It's just a stupid joke we say every time we review a Randy Orton match these days on current pay-per-views. So that's a joke, nothing more. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, then Gunther made his entrance. He also got a standing ovation because even though we were in Berlin, Germany, Gunther was born and raised in Austria.
Yeah, well, he was just born south of where they all were, so.
So yeah. And apparently Michael Cole in commentary even mentioned that Gunther was a wrestling icon in Germany and considered a local hero by his fans, and despite being a heel in the match, he got a standing ovation like he was the face of the company. At this point, during his entrance. And I'm just like, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, I can appreciate that because I think we're on a slow face turn, but we'll talk about that at the conclusion of this match. All right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and at the start of the match, the fans nearly spent 2 minutes singing theme songs to get fired up, right? They were all excited for this. They were cheering both guys. Because even though this is your typical face-heel dynamic, in the fans' eyes, this was face versus face. Right? Since both of them were cheered like crazy. Like their minds were blown that they were seeing this epic clash, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time we reviewed Orton versus Gunther either. If you remember, these two fight each other during the King of the Ring finals in Saudi Arabia back in June. It was
the King of the Ring.
Yeah, it was technically a rematch, but this time for the World Championship. And the last time we reviewed Orton versus Gunther, no offense, but that match was kind of fell flat. But this one made up for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Of course, truth be told, even Gunther said he didn't really like the way the King of the Ring match with Orton kind of ended. Or was, right?
Yeah, because his shoulders weren't pinned.
Yeah, it did kind of end in controversy. Which is why we have this match now. The rematch, right?
Yes, there was another Earl Hebner.
Yep. Yeah, but those two, the fans applauding. This was before they even locked up, but they ended up locking up, obviously, because no one wanted to sit there and just see the fans cheer for them for 20 minutes with no action. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they locked up with Orton pushing Gunther into the turnbuckles. Yeah, and then Charles Robinson was like, okay, you gotta clean break it. Right, and then the fans broke out in song again. And Charles Robinson let some shit go. The referee let some shit go in big world title match, by the way. He kind of let them bend the rules a bit, right?
Well, he let a lot of shit fly.
Because he's like, this is a world title match. The fans are going crazy for both competitors. I ain't going to ruin it with a DQ or a screwy finish. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then the fans broke out into, and the fans started cheering and breaking out the song again with some arms swinging as well. Looked like a big giant wave, right? Going through the crowd. Even Orton knows that. He goes, huh?
Germany.
Yep. And even freaking Orton noticed that. He goes, okay, this is kind of cool, right? Before they started going at each other again. One point, Gunther did apply a chin lock while the fans were still doing the wave all around the building. Right?
Yeah.
Like, the fans were into this. The fans were like, if the fans told the story of a match, the match of the night from the fans' eyes was this one. Because the fans were all into this match like they were watching Hogan versus Rock from WrestleMania 18 type cheering, okay?
Yeah.
Like, they were going crazy. Like we were about 4 minutes of the match during at this point. Orton and Gunther barely even touched each other, barely did any moves against each other, and the fans were eating it up. Like chocolate ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Like, they were going crazy, like they were witnessing, like, say, Sting versus Undertaker in a dream match. That's how the fans are acting here. Right?
Yeah.
But, eventually they did have to put the match on, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, Orton was playing with the crowd, even lifting his arms to do the wave, too, which I found comical. So you could tell they were into this, right?
Yeah.
Of course, following that, Gunther did chop Orton a few times, along with an uppercut to get the action actually, underway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gunther even used his feet to do a neck twist on Orton, which you don't really see a whole lot of. Innovative, right?
Yep.
And there was some more singing from the crowd when Gunther freaking unloaded another chop to Orton's chest. Like, even during the moves, these fans were like into this match, making it feel like a big time main event. And of course, Orton did counter, deliver some punches back and forth, and then Gunther punched back, and then they were doing the punch spot plus the chop spots. Goddamn, including one where Orton chopped Gunther chopped Orton hard in his dang chest. I swear to God, I don't want to be fucking hit with any Gunther chop, would you? That shit looked like it fucking hurts. Like hell. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, those two, and then Orton countered. And of course, they left the ring, or they got outside the ring, and then Orton then countered Gunther and sent Gunther hard into the steel steps at one point. On the outside of the ring, Orton went back anyway, but breaking the ref's count, whatever you want to call it. But then they spent a good portion at one point outside, but that didn't really matter. Referee's letting shit slide. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, again, Orton did send Gunther again shoulder first into the steel steps. And Gunther also got slammed into the commentary table. Also, at one point, right outside the ring. I gotta quit using that. I gotta quit overusing that term at one point, by the way. I'm just starting to notice that habit. Right?
At one point,
D2 needs to learn to shut up and not overuse that phrase. Yeah, I'm taking the piss out of what I'm saying.
Not me.
I'm taking the piss out of me saying that too many times.
Yeah.
And Orton did and then Orton did another belly back suplex slam onto the table. And then Orton did hit a third belly to back suplex onto the table. And of course, the referee was letting stuff go.
Randy tried to use his RKO.
And of course, there was a force slam to the commonly announced table, but the fans were chanting for Gunther and booed Orton after that slam to the table that Gunther received. So I'm like,
and
okay.
At one point, Randy freaking slammed Gunther into the fucking steel steps and was taking the steps and dragging his ass up onto the announce tables.
Yeah, and I think that's when Orton delivered the slam onto the table, which broke. Of course, the fans were booing this. I mean, it was a great match. They went back into the ring. And and then Gunther then did a fall-away slam across the ring just for a count of one. You know the fall-away slam? Bradshaw or JBL used to use that move a lot.
And at one point, Gunther tried to use his power bomb, but with his arm hurt, he couldn't do it.
Yep. One of these times I'm going to make a t-shirt that just says "at one point."
I'm just taking the piss out of this where you keep saying, "Oh, at one point." I'm like, "Oh, and at one point. Oh, and at one point."
I know you is that what this main event turned into? Just us taking the piss out of that phrase?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
only at another point, Gunther finally did the power bomb.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was going to go for a freaking a Cactus Jack pole driver, whatever it is.
The pile driver. Yep. And of course, Orton delivered chops along with a headbutt. And then Orton did deliver a suplex off the middle rope for a 2 count. You know, the same maneuver that Bob Orton used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after some back and forth action here, I'm not going to go for spot here. I'm going near the end. It's like Gunther did apply of course, then Orton did hit with an RKO at some point. Of course, Gunther kicked out of the RKO, right? Which usually leads to Orton winning anyway, but not in this case, right?
Yep.
And of course, Orton was going for another RKO, but Gunther shoved him down and then applied a rear naked choke or a sleeper, whatever you want to call it.
The Coquina clutch.
Yeah, but then Orton got out of it. And then Orton backed Gunther into the turnbuckle a few times. Of course, Gunther still held on to the sleeper hold. Orton was able to get out of it, but Orton chopped Gunther in the back of the neck, and then he applied the sleeper hold again. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this has got to be near the end, okay? Because we've seen Gunther win matches with that hold before, specifically at SummerSlam where he won the title, right?
And at one point, when Gunther freaking slapped him in the back of the neck and knocked his ass out unconscious.
And of course, Orton then lifted Gunther up onto his back, and then Orton did fall back, piggyback style slam on the mat, but Gunther did apply the sleeper again. Like, he wasn't letting go for a long period. Then Gunther did wrap Orton up with his legs around Orton's right arm, and then the referee pretty much checked Orton's arm. Orton was out conscious, and the referee called for the bell.
Well, he didn't do what you were normally supposed to do, is lift the arm 3 times and see if he just fucking basically waggled at it, and then it didn't do anything, and he's like, well, end the match. So
technically the winner by TKO was Gunther to retain the World Championship.
I still do not agree with it.
I mean, it was a great match back and forth, but I think
Even though you, Hitler, agree with it.
Jesus Christ, we don't, motherfucker. Meow meow, motherfucker. Anyway, I thought this was a great way to end the show, of course. And after the match, Gunther actually extended his hand to shake hands with Orton after a great brawl, which, to me, that's what I thought is this going to be a slow burning face turn for Gunther? Or is this just a spar in the moment type situation?
Probably spur of the moment.
So yeah, that was it. That's how Bash at Berlin went off air, ended. So now, let's talk about our favorite portion of these reviews, where we talk about our star ratings here for each match that took place. So yeah, the 5 matches that took place here. So let's get through it. Cody Rhodes defeating Kevin Owens to retain the WWE Championship in that opening matchup. I give it about 4 stars out of 5.
I give it a solid 3. It wasn't all that. It had its moments, but with Kevin Owens being concerned and not doing his best like he normally would,
yeah,
it just felt like a typical match that you would see on either SmackDown or Raw.
It's like, I thought they told the story they needed to tell. Yeah, it could have been better, but I got 4. I gave it 4. You give it 3. I seem to have enjoyed it more than you by a little smidgen.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeating the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire.
What the fuck is Cargill?
I can't talk for shit today.
Get that dick out of your mouth.
There was number 1 in there to start with.
Get that strap on out of your mouth then.
What are you talking about? Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeating the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, to win the Women's Tag Team Championships. I give that one about 3 out of 5.
3.5.
Yeah, so about the same boat. Out of 5, yeah. CM Punk defeating Drew McIntyre in the strap match. I give that
5.
one. Yeah, I give that one. Yeah, a solid 5. It was the brawl of the night, probably the best match of the night. 5 out of 5. The Terror Twins are Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley defeating the Judgment Day members Dominic Mysterio and Women's World Champion Liv Morgan in that mixed tag. I give it 4.5. What'd you say?
I give it a 5.
Yeah. I give it 4.5. I could have done without the heavy interference, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah, but did you see Dom's outfit? It said Daddy Dom.
Jeez, you want Dom to be your daddy Dom, don't you?
Oh, I know you do.
Nope.
I know you want JD McDumbass and Dirty Dominic Mysterio to be your daddies.
Hell no. Those, you want that, not me.
No. That's you.
I don't think so, Scooter.
I think so, Cletus.
No way, Rufus.
Billy Bob Jim Thornton.
It's like, no.
Yes.
But anyway, moving on. Our last match of the night. Gunther defeating Randy Orton by TKO to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event. The match was good. The ending, to me, kind of fell flat, but it is what it is, and at least there was a definitive winner this time, unlike King of the Ring. So I would just give that maybe 3 3/4, almost 4 out of 5.
I just give it a 3.
So yeah, that being said, okay. Now that being said, our final grade for Bash at Berlin 2024, probably the only Bash at Berlin pay-per-view. Who knows, unless they make more of these. I would give this show a solid C grade. And that's on
I'd say B.
Yeah, I'd give it a C grade, and that's on the strength of the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match and the mixed tag match.
No, I'd give it a B.
Yep. Yeah, and what matches did you enjoy the most over the other ones?
The strap match and the mixed tag.
Yeah. If you were going to watch only a couple matches from the show, those would be the 2 matches I would recommend. Yep. But if you just want to see like a fan react spectacle, the main event's where it's at with Orton and Gunther. Just to see the crowd reaction at the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
So there it goes. There's our thoughts on Bash at Berlin 2024. So, next up on our pay-per-view review, oh my god, it's your goddamn choice. What the hell are we going to watch next week?
We're going to watch your favorite, Michael Cole!
Which specific event?
The Kiss My Foot match.
Oh my god, you suck. Yeah, that's... I forgot what friggin' event that was. Hold on here.
I know it was like 2015, 14.
It was in 2011.
Okay.
Oh my god, I hate you. Okay, fuck you. I guess our next freaking pay-per-view review is going to be Over the Limit 2011, because that's where the Kiss My Foot match happened.
Yes, it was Over the Limit.
Why I hate you.
You made me watch that fucking god-awful angle of rape.
Storyline. Okay, fair play.
So now, you will suffer.
Michael Cole as a wrestler should have never happened, and you know it.
But you were glad that he became a wrestler because you wanted to see him wrestle.
No, we all know the only reason you want to see this match so bad is because you want to see fucking Michael Cole wrestle again. Mostly because you want to torture me.
Well, to torture you, yes, but you also want to see your prison bitch Michael Cole in his Orange is the New Black outfit.
You ain't gonna fucking like me. You ain't gonna like me for my next pick after that. Or should we say my pick after that one, because I already have one in mind for after Over the Limit.
Yes.
But yeah, when it comes to this Michael Cole review match again, because yeah, WrestleMania 27 wasn't bad enough. Lord help me.